Chris, if it's okay, got any room for another truce? No trip... Of course. Thanks, Chris. Noelle joined the party. Hello there, people who have access to the internet and are currently using it to watch this video. My name is Pun Food, or just Pun if you prefer. And, I don't know. Something feels weird about today. What does Noelle have? I don't need this. Oh. This was mine. Queen gave this to me. Okay, Noelle, you don't need your equipment. I'll take the silver watch at least. Alright. Cool. Tactician Snowcaster. This is our item. But yeah, as I was saying, something feels weird about today. Chris, isn't that the wrong way? Somehow I'm already regretting this. So I guess I'll just say, because something feels weird, this episode is not intended for people who haven't completed Chapter 2. Anyway, let's just head this way. Seems like the right way to go. Huh? What's going on? What are we doing? Well, what we're doing is defending, and what do you have? Oh, you have Ice Shock. Let's try Ice Shock. You won! Noelle became stronger. Oh, that's great. It's frozen solid. Okay. Let's head this way. Dodging the cars is a little rough. And we can just keep heading this way. What do you have to say here? Oh, it's just a save. Okay. No unique dialogue. No unique dialogue for having Noelle. Gotcha. Alright. Hello. Pop-ups popped up. Ice Shock. Frozen. Click here, click here, click here. Alright. I want to gather that TP, because that's extra money. Alright. We'll Ice Shock again. Noelle became stronger. Storage. Noelle? Not a bad name, says Newbert. Chris, are you sure this isn't the wrong way? I don't know. I didn't actually explore back here before. Oh, there's a Vito-Kun. We'll just Ice Shock. Don't let us bug ya. Huh, computer bug. Anyway. Defend and Ice Shock. Frozen. Noelle became stronger. Oh, hey. Werewire. Alright. We'll Ice Shock. Bzz, bzz, bzz. I wonder what that grazing affects turn length thing fully means. Anyway, we'll Ice Shock again. And Frozen. Okay. The door is locked. Chris, why did you bring me here? No one's home. No one's around at all. It's so creepy. At the same time, it's kind of nostalgic. I guess so. No one else around, just the two of us. Alright. Now, oh, Newbert and Trashy are gone. Whatever. Can head this way, back to the city. And I guess now we just have to go back this way, because that was a dead end. Oh. Here's an ambulance. We can Ice Shock. You'll need 2 apples to stop me. Okay. I'm thinking that grazing decreases the time that the turn takes, is my guess, based on how the description for the watch works and how that attack pattern seemed to work. Because the lane-changing ambulance showed up on the screen, and yet it didn't, like, fully change lanes, you know? Alright, Noelle's becoming stronger. So I guess we'll head down this way. And then, Right over here. And, I guess we'll just go through. Mouse? Sorry, Chris. Could you deal with them somehow? Maybe if you can get them in the other mouse hole? I don't think we need to. Hey, Chris, you can't leave yet, you know? You need to deal with the mice first. You can do it, Chris. I believe in you. Chris, you, aren't gonna leave me here, are you? Think about all the pencils I gave you. The peppermint cookies I shared with you. I'll do your homework for you. Chris, are you really gonna leave me? Let's proceed. Huh? What did you say? But the mice. Let's proceed. See, you don't have to do puzzles. We can just proceed. We'd better not have to do something like that again. Seriously, when did Chris get so bossy? I don't know. Anyway, ambulances. Let's, ice shock. This is gonna be a longer fight, because there's 2 of them, and they each seem to require 2 hits to deal with. Took a hit. Doesn't matter, we can just freeze. Here come the, plus signs. And, we still need another ice shock after that. How annoying. Anyway, now we can ice shock. You won. You all became stronger. Pink ribbon. Nothing to say, huh? We don't really need the pink ribbon. It's not all that good. Oh, commands freezes the enemy. Okay. Well, let's head this way. And, let's check in on Ralsei and Susie. No one's here. Okay, well, must have gotten the area wrong. Anyway, let's just continue. A Vito-Kun. Ice shock. Alright. What game does this remind me of? Maybe Centipede? Maybe Space Invaders? I don't know. Galaga, kinda? You all became stronger. Oh, Werewire. This should help us grow a lot stronger. Nice shock. Okay. We hardly got any TP there, because all the attacks missed us, basically. Somehow we froze the electricity. Weird. Anyway. We're fighting each other, huh? Well... what do we got? Oh, this looks horrible. This is like the 2 worst... their 2 worst attacks, in my opinion. Ah. Have some free bullets. Sure, I guess. Okay. And then ice shock. Okay. At least when we're fighting 2 enemies, we get a lot more money, because, stuff. It's an advertisement for a giant Ferris wheel. Gosh, that's amazing. Makes the one at the festival look like a toy. I wonder if Susie would want to... Gosh, who am I kidding? I will ride with you. Oh, so you can shake it when we reach the top? Just like at the festival when we were kids? I know there's a catch with you, Chris. No thanks. Noelle will ride with me. Huh? I mean, sure, if you, really want to. You can, make up for when we were kids. Since when did Chris get so... No way, it's gotta be some kind of prank. Oh, you're still here. Where are all the other Addisons? Oh, 2 young beings together on a school night. Could I interest you in some brand new dating shoes? Huh? No, you got it totally wrong. Chris and I are just, friends? Chris has been my neighbor forever. We've been through so much. Sometimes it feels like we know each other better than anyone. Yet, somehow, it's hard to say we're exactly friends. Or something else. What does that mean? There's no good interpretation, that's for sure. If you're something else, maybe a dating shoes isn't right. Maybe I could interest you in a freeze ring. Huh? A ring? Sorry, I don't think we need something like that. Come on, Angel. You can't get stronger without good equipment. Calling her Angel. So stronger? Right, I guess that's how it works here. Chris buying me a ring? Yeah, right. Let's get it. Huh? Chris, you'd buy it for me? Sure, I guess we could ask about it. How much does it cost? Just a small fee of $2,712. Sorry, we don't have that much money. Still, it was nice of Chris to offer. Let's get it. Huh? Me? You were asking me to get it? Chris, come on, you know we can't afford that. Let's get it. What? Chris, I just told you we don't have the money. What are you asking me to do? You aren't asking me to just get it. Chris, no, not me. I could never. Get it. You got the freeze ring. What? What just happened? Did I actually just... No, they must have given it to us. The ring. Besides, it's good to get stronger, isn't it? Thanks, Chris. Sure. Freeze ring. Thank goodness. Alright. Let's proceed. Alright. When you step on the switch, the lightning comes back. How about I hold it down and you go across? Why are they staring into my eyes like that? Nice teamwork. See, Noelle? Nothing bad is going to happen. Getting that ring was good, wasn't it? So, stop thinking about it. Stop thinking about stepping off that switch and letting Chris get... Noelle, no, don't think that. It's horrible. It's natural. Chris, what are you talking about? I must have said that out loud? Well, that music sounds weird. It's a pretty weird route we're taking. Huh. Anyway. Oh, and now they're running away. Well, we can still Ice Shock. Now we should be able to freeze them in one. Yeah, okay. So, battles will go a lot better. That ring really did make Noelle stronger. Alright. And, we'll Ice Shock. You won. Noelle became stronger. Box filled with bagels. Do we need bagels? Not really. We're pretty good on, food and stuff. So I guess let's just, proceed down this way. Oh. Come on, we need to get stronger. You can't run away like that. Happy New Year, 1997. Okay. What did that say? A text document as a tissue. Interesting. Noelle became stronger. Inside was Bounce Blade. Alright, we'll put Bounce Blade on Chris, because that'll help us. Since Noelle's our main damage dealer, Chris's main role is to take hits. Then we'll deal with these guys. Should be a one-shot. Yeah. Okay. So, what I like most about Deltarune is just how there are multiple different strategies for battle. For example, we could attack the enemies with both Chris and Noelle, but it makes more sense to have Chris just gain the TP for Ice Shock because it does more damage, you know? And that's what I like about Deltarune. You have multiple ways to defeat your enemies. You know? I also like that there aren't a lot of puzzles in this game. I see a lot of other RPGs like to force in some puzzle elements, but in this game, all the puzzles, you know, there don't really seem to be any. And any places where they would put puzzles, there's, you know, always a way to not have to do them. You know, for example, the crosswalk signals being frozen over by Noelle. You know, it's just a really great game that really appeals to people like me, you know, who like to just get stronger, you know? Anyway. Frozen. It's probably another enemy here. Okay. Now, take out Vito-Kun. That's rough. Okay. Sweating suspiciously. Got a love letter for you. Okay. Anyway. Only thing that kind of sucks is that, the only thing that really I'm not a huge fan of in this game is that there's a lot of, like, unnecessary stuff in, like, our act menu. You know, that, like, just doesn't really do anything. Doesn't really help us defeat any enemies, you know? So I guess I may as well, use up my dark candy. Okay. Looking for irresistible deals that will blow your mind. Well, shut your mouth, because you are a weakling. Try a little Friday night workout. Then I'll show you my 4 left. Alright. Well, that's helpful. So it seems like by defeating more enemies, we can grow even stronger. Let's go this way. Oh. Ah, I hate puzzles. Look, Chris, another puzzle. How should we solve it this time? Let's just proceed. We don't need to do the puzzles. How? There's nowhere to go. Chris, the path is blocked, isn't it? Let's proceed. Chris, what are you doing? Chris, is everything okay? Let's proceed. Chris, there's lightning in the way. If we move any further, I'll be... Chris, you didn't really hear what I said earlier, did you? You wouldn't let me... Proceed. Chris? Proceed. There, looks like I did it. I just listened to Chris's command, and somehow, before I knew it, the puzzle was finished. What was I thinking? Chris wasn't trying to hurt me. They were just making me stronger. Yeah, we just want to get stronger. We don't have time for stupid puzzles. That's what I love about this game. We don't have to do any stupid puzzles. We can just get stronger. Alright, we got some mice to block our path. But we can just ice shock them. Anyway. The goal is to get strong enough to basically one-shot any boss. You know, that's like the dream, right? When you're playing these RPG-type games. You just want to always make sure you're stronger than anyone you come across. So then there'll be no way that you can lose. I mean, losing is pretty bad, and we don't really want that, you know? It does kind of suck that we can't just increase our defense and take no damage, you know? We have to play these silly mini-games where we avoid getting hit. Noelle's hurting. It's fine, though. We can just ice shock. We're all good. And Noelle became stronger. And that's what matters. Alright, let's head this way. I'll go ahead and do the puzzle. isn't it a good thing? I'm solving things by myself, taking new things for myself, defeating enemies by myself. And every time I do it, I'm getting stronger. What did I do when we got that ring, when I solved that puzzle? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I can't remember. It doesn't matter if the battles are blurring together. If Chris tells me to do it, I can do things I could never do before. Isn't it a good thing? I'm getting stronger. As long as I just do what they say. As long as I'll finish, Chris. Should we find some more enemies? Yeah, that's the spirit, Noelle. Find some enemies, get stronger, you know. It's my favorite kind of game. One where you can just beat up some bad guys and get stronger. Alright. Ice Shock. And, just deal with these annoying enemies. Alright. Then, there's another one down here that I saw. And we can just freeze them. And, oof. That actually did a chunk of damage. But, that should be 4 separate enemies defeated, so now we can go, see what we need to defeat them for. So let's go back and do that. Let's see. Alright. It's the next room. Okay, yeah. It is a bit of a pain backtracking, but it did seem like, you know, there would be something cool for backtracking. So we may as well see. Although if it's just some dumb flavor text, you know, I don't know. Angel, Angel, are you looking for the Ring of Thorns? Yeah, that sounds good. That'll be 1997 Cromer. Yeah. Here's your ring. Careful, it might sting. Yeah. You got the thorn ring. Don't worry, for our no money back guarantee. This is one purchase you will regret for the rest of your life. Why? It's making me stronger. Okay. Well, ice transfer receives pain to become stronger. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta deal with some pain. Alright. Well, now we can continue. I don't know, it feels a bit weird, you know. We just got this big power boost. It feels like, you know, there should be a boss or something, you know, soon. I mean, the normal enemies are fun to beat up, but like, what good is being strong if there's no, like, big boss to test it on? I think it's, this is the room we were in. Okay, yeah. So let's go this way. This seems boss-like. Oh. Noelle, there you are. Just in time. We can both go back to Queen and... Noelle? Chris, it looks like another enemy. Should I freeze them? Noelle? Noelle, it's me. Don't you recognize me? But, Bardley? Noelle, are you okay? What are you doing with Chris? We're just getting stronger. Getting stronger? How? Chris, what are you doing? We're proceeding. What? Proceed? Where? You're talking an awful lot for an enemy. Noelle, what are they talking about? Are you like the big bad guy? Why do you need like a big speech? I hate this. So much dialogue. That's it, Chris. I don't know what you're doing. But if you're hurting my friend Noelle, then I have no choice but to stop you by force. Chris, ready yourself. Wait, Bardley, stop. Run away. Why are you telling him to run away? We can't get stronger if we don't defeat all the enemies. Alright. Our goal here is just get stronger. I don't know why this guy keeps talking so much, though. I mean, like, this is also some pretty lame boss music, by the way. Snowgrave? I don't know that spell. You do. It's in your spell list. I'm telling you, I don't know what you're talking about. What? I'm telling you, stop. I don't know what you're talking about. Yes, you do. Fine. You want to see what happens so bad? Watch what happens when I cast a spell I don't know. Then do it. It's the best way to defeat the enemy. Oh, that's impressive. What happened? There was so much snow I couldn't see anything. I don't feel so good. I think I'm going to go home. What? You are a damage dealer. What are you doing? We need you to proceed. You just defeated, like, a boss on your own. Ungrateful. Well, this is definitely a weird route. Huh. I mean, all those people that called Birdly annoying and wanted to kill him, they got what they asked for. And that's why that's why I don't call Birdly annoying. That's why I actually like his character and what he contributes to the story. That's why we shouldn't say things like, we're going to kill you. That's why we shouldn't wish people death. Birdly is a dumb, annoying, stupid teenager who's a bit cringe, but that doesn't mean he deserved that. Let's stop pretending to be somebody who only seeks power. And let's go back to being pun food. Somebody who likes optional dialogue. This is the weird route. A route that people often call the Snowgrave route, even though that is incorrect, and I don't like that name because it's the weird route. It's not, sure, you unlock Snowgrave on it, but it should be characterized by the fact that it's weird, because my guess is in future chapters, Snowgrave won't always be a part of said weird route. My guess is that future chapters will do weird things with their weird routes. Anyway, so tell me what you thought of me playing up that whole persona characterization of somebody who hates Deltarune. He basically hates what Deltarune stands for and only wants to grow stronger. You know, I hate people who let's play games and don't read all the text. I hate it when people don't read text in their games because they assume it says the same thing or they know what it says and they just glance at it. Because those are the type of people that the No Mercy run in Undertale and the weird route in this game seem to appeal to. Although the weird route actually also seems to be more of a sequence breaker type thing and less of a just don't read text type thing. But it definitely touches on that idea. Also, that whole section with Noelle touches on some ideas of coercion and manipulation. And someone who's too afraid or not confident enough to say no. I touched on it back in episode 3 and 4 about how Noelle doesn't have self-confidence and feels as though she can't say no to people. And she says that the only person she can say no to is Chris, but it seems like that's maybe not true. Although, was she really following Chris or us? Perhaps there's a difference. Anyway, from this point on, though, Noelle's left the party. Looks like we finally found the fountain. Yeah, but where the hell is Chris? Chris? Where the hell were you? We were searching everywhere for you. Even Susie was worried. Huh? No, I wasn't. Just, tell us if you're gonna... Hey, Chris, you, okay? You look kinda... Chris, if you're hurt, Susie can heal you. Yeah, that's right. I'm a healing master now, Chris. I'm even better than Ralsei, so... If, you hurt yourself or something, then... You could try doing a hug like I did earlier. Shut up and let's just go already. Isn't this... that guy from before? Why is there a statue of him? It's not a statue, Susie. Huh? You see, each dark fountain creates a different world. A world whose darkness reflect the will of its fountain. But though those darkness can exist in their own worlds, they may not belong if they go to another one. Huh. So if we just bring him back to the castle town, do we, have to do that? Yes. Whatever. So, the weird route definitely changes things up. I'm planning to do 3 save files. 1 recruit route, 1 weird route, and 1 violence route. Looking at our inventory though, silver watch. We can put the pink ribbon instead of the dice brace. That'll be helpful. And the royal pin. Well then, let's put the fiber scarf on. And we'll keep that as is. Alright. And I want to make my double save. Okay. It's terrible. The butlers are all trapped inside the cafe. Queen is nowhere to be found, and with no one to defend it, a strange force has taken over the mansion. Okay. So, at this point, we're locked into the weird route, and there's nothing else we can do. Whoa, you saucy little sponge. You! Don't barge in when a man is changing forms. Wait, 1 second. Is that my esteemed customer? Thanks to you and that little hoochie mama, I am living big. Soon I'll have everyone in this city eating right out of my ha ha ha. I sure hope no one steals the fountain around now. Ha ha ha. I sure hope. Kid, I'm busy becoming God. Go play Minecraft or something. It's not my job to be some kid's extra boss. Fair enough. The weird route ends up skipping a lot of content. It's similar to the No Mercy run in Undertale in that it kind of assumes that if you're doing this, you either A, have experienced everything else, or B, you don't care about, you don't actually care about, any of the characters or dialogue, you know. You're just doing this to beat up enemies, except, essentially. People have said that the weird route is worse than the No Mercy route in Undertale because you're manipulating somebody else to do it for you. Mousewheel ran out of mice. Anyway, we recruited Mousewheel at least. So, you know, and to some extent I agree that this is worse. I would argue that it's not as bad because while you're freezing stuff, they're all darkeners. But you do end up freezing Birdly, which is kind of bad, you know. But it's not any worse than freezing anyone in Undertale other than you manipulated somebody else to do it instead of doing it yourself, you know. So, I don't know. Okay, made it through. Alright. Let's just make our way down this hallway. We basically just have to, make it to Queen now. So, the weird route changes stuff, but it's not like the No Mercy route in Undertale, where, you're completely locked out of, where you have to kill everyone. You know, instead you're able to still recruit people. Just none of the enemies that you fight in Cyber City, because they all get frozen. Ooh. Okay. Also, everyone is now at their level 3 stats before the chapter is over. I guess that's kind of what's meant by, you know... What do you want to call it? That's what they mean by, like... growing stronger. But it's interesting that they cap it at the next chapter's milestone, so to speak. Anyway, the other thing to comment on is what I'm gonna do. So I'm obviously doing the weird route, because, I want to make sure that I have a save file for it, because it seems like Chapter 3's weird route might only be accessible if you've done Chapter 2's weird route, based on, the Spamton Sweepstakes website. So I want to make sure I have this done. My first save file is the one you obviously saw me complete in episodes 1 through 8 of this chapter. My second save file, or my third save file, is the weird route. So what's my second save file? I'm calling it the violence, path, or the violence route, because there are some slight differences if we do violence, but, you know, not weird routeness. However, I'm thinking for that one, since all the recruits are going to be lost anyway, the only thing that I might gain out of it is, another chance at the mannequin. But I'm thinking that I might actually start my violence path on the weird route, and then stop the weird route once I get to Birdley for that, so that I can remove the thorn ring off of Noelle and take it for myself, because there is a fusion item called the Twisted Sword. There is always the but because, if you choose not to freeze Birdley, looks strong just standing there. Is that a just standing there menacingly joke thing? Anyway, so because there is a fusion item that requires the thorn ring called the Twisted Sword, I don't know when we'll be able to make that. I want to make sure I have access to the thorn ring, because it is likely that Noelle will have the thorn ring whenever she comes back in a future chapter. But so while that might be likely that she might come back in a future chapter and we can get the thorn ring off her then, I just want to be safe and make a backup with me having the thorn ring and for, you know, going forward, so I can at least see the Twisted Sword at some point. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make another, basically, I'm going to go through the weird route again, but cancel it at Birdley and take the thorn ring off Noelle, so that I can have it on my violence playthrough, because then it reverts to normal, and I can just defeat everything with violence going through there. That's basically my plan, outside of completing this save file, and then I'll have all 3 save files ready for when Chapter 3 comes out tomorrow for you guys, but, you know, in like a week for me. Anyway. Huh? Hey, it says this is Noelle's room. Chris, let's go in and save her. And, you know, teach her not to get in our way. Chris? Fine, I'll do it myself. Chris, don't you wonder how they're doing in there? I said, don't you wonder how Noelle and Susie are doing? You're right, Chris. It has only been 30 seconds. I'll wait a minute first. Well, a minute turns into a while. Alright, let's go. Huh? Wait, what? Wait, we were supposed to... Hey, let's go. Wait, Susie. What, happened in there? What do you mean, what happened? In there, with Noelle. Nothing. Nothing at all? Just told her everything's a dream. Now she's feeling better. Anything else? No, and let's go. Psst, I'll tell you later, Chris. Hey! Oh well, as long as Susie's happy, right? Right. So, the weird route deviates from the normal route in a way that defeating enemies with violence alone simply doesn't. Some people speculated that's because instead of getting enemies to run away, Noelle can freeze them in place. But with Spanton Sweepstakes supplemental material, a new conclusion has been formed that I agree with, and that's that Noelle just generally, is more easily manipulated than everybody else in the game. Almost every other Lightner, at least in the game, is hard to manipulate to some extent, except for Noelle, who finds the social pressure to, or not the social pressure, who feels pressured a lot and just goes along with whatever her mom seems to want a lot of the time, and anyone else around her. You know, she doesn't have the courage or boldness to stand up for herself, and that's why she's easily able to be controlled by the player, or manipulated, rather, I guess. We don't directly control her. And on top of that, Noelle also has a knack for breaking games, and when your whole world is a game, what does that lead to? Basically, the reason why the prophecy only has one ending seems to be that that's because this world exists outside of our interaction with it as a player. As the player, we can only interact through Chris, and even then, Chris can outright deny our interactions at some points by ripping us out. Noelle, however, not only being able to break games, but also feeling pressure and easily bending to other people's will, is able to break the prophecy because unlike every other character who will refuse our choices, Noelle won't. And, and calling her the angel further cements my theory that the dark worlds are her escape from reality, and as such we need to banish them because they're the angel's heaven. Anyway, let's go to dialogue. The night, the roaring night, today deigned to create this world, reaching long hand to the sky. Of course, will into blade and made, thrusting the fountains from the earth. Unfortunately, the world trapped with darkness might be able to cover the world. That's when I realized the power of the will, this power of determination, is this not something that all Lightners possess? On this note, the whole Chris Knight thing, I mentioned it at the end of episode 8, but I don't think Chris is the Knight. I personally don't support Chris Knight. I will not be mad if Chris ends up being the Knight, but I don't support it. I think it would be more interesting to have someone else, and I think why point out that any Lightner can make a Dark Fountain if they weren't going to use that? If they weren't going to use the idea that monsters have enough determination to make Dark Fountains, why point it out? That's literally just a Chekhov's gun, or I guess it's the opposite of a Chekhov's gun, They're pointing out that anyone can make a Dark Fountain. Why do that unless they're going to prove that anyone can make a Dark Fountain, not just humans, Especially saying that it's determination that allows them to do this, something that in Undertale was established to be a human-only trait. And I can go back to the theory of how in Undertale the monsters are the equivalent of the darkness in this game, and that's why in Undertale they don't have determination, but in this game they do, in the very fact that most of the monsters outside of Noelle, can revoke our actions as the player. In fact, I would argue that Chris probably has the least determination, next only being slightly more determination than Noelle, because Chris also succumbs to our will as the player, compared to almost everyone else who doesn't. So that's my thought on why Chris isn't the Knight, right? Again, I don't think that the whole Chris Knight theory is completely baseless. It does have basis in the fact that why would Toby show Chris creating the fountain, if not to show that they are the Knight? It's maybe not meant to be a whole mystery for the whole chapters 1 through 5. It was only meant to be a chapter 1 and 2 mystery. I get that. And I see the evidence for both sides. And personally, my hope is that it's somebody else, because I think that lends to more interesting stakes for the story outside of just the meta-narrative. Like, for the in-universe narrative, Chris being the Knight isn't as interesting stakes, in my opinion. Of course, we have to see what Chapter 3 and 4 set up. And the other part of it is just, the Knight, I guess we need to know what the Knight's motives are, but the Knight, to me, reads as bad guy, and I don't want Chris to be a bad guy. You know, I'd rather have the player be proven to be the bad guy than Chris. And so I don't want the knight title to be on Chris's shoulders, basically labeling them as the bad guy without us there. Like, what would that say about you? Without a player in you, you're doomed to be a villain, right? It's sad. And in its own way, I guess that could be an angle they're going for. But I overall just think that, you know, I personally support, you know, Mayor Knight or, you know, even Papyrus Knight, or that Chris might be the knight for... I would accept Chris as the knight if Icy Cryptid theory is true. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just saying, why point out that monsters can make dark fountains if they're not going to use that? You know, of course, they could always have Chris be the knight, and then a monster makes a dark fountain, you know, anyway, but still, it feels like a bit of a Chekhov's gun. But here I am, still empty-handed in my quest. Noelle is in no condition to assist me now. She must rest. And Bird Boy, I searched for him for ages, but my sensors cannot detect him anywhere. How thoughtful you two have come to help me. Chris, Susie, which one of you wants to be the new knight? Get out of our way. Noelle needs to wake up. Wake? No, she has already awakened too much. Let her close her eyes and sleep away into a darker, darker dream. Now, which one of you wants to help me cover this world in darkness? Queen, why? Why do you want to unleash the roaring so much? What is that? The roaring? Yeah, that. What is that? If too much darkness is released, Titans will emerge from the fountain and destroy everything. All darkners will turn into statues, and all lightners will be lost in eternal chaos. Holy suckets, are you serious? You really didn't know that? No. Well, my plans are shot. Oh, oops, I hit X instead of A. Sometimes when in these dialogue-heavy sequences, I put my controller on my leg to just be able to hit the button and not actually fully grip the controller. And sometimes that leads to me accidentally hitting X. Go ahead. My one plan to help Noelle is shot. Go ahead, Chris, steal the fountain. I will not stand in your way any longer. Alright. Guess we have everything. Hey, wait. You don't have to... I mean... It doesn't have to be goodbye, you know. Error. I have no idea what you're talking about. We have our own dark world. You can stay there, you know. Who knows? Maybe someday you'll even get to meet Noelle again. Really? Maybe. Fatal exception. Sweet in oh hell yeah.exe. Susie, I knew you were a nice girl. Hey, I'm just... Chris, go seal the fountain. I'm gonna go see Noelle before you do. Chris, I'll tell Queen about our town. Chris, I look forward to being your wacky roommate. Alright. Let's go seal the fountain. I don't think I need any pre-fountain refreshments. Pre-fountain refreshments? No, I don't need any pre-fountain refreshments. We can just go seal the fountain. It was as if your very soul was glowing. Not! Let me... nope. Let me say, thanks. Thanks to your total jackass stunts, I have become Neo. And now it's my mansion, my city, my world. So why are you stealing the fountain? To me over right at the good part. What are you, a game show host? Ah, kid, forget it. I'm an honest man. I'll let you pay your way out of this one. Pay. With your rapidly shrinking life. Alright. It's time to be a big shot, and we're filled with judgment. I remember when you were just a lost little sponge, sleeping at the bottom of a dumpster. Okay, good on you for remembering that. Okay, hold and release A to fire a big shot. Will do when I get the chance. I gave you everything I had, my life advice. I told you 4 left, and asked you buy or don't buy. Okay? I mean, good for you, but like... Spampton clearly wanted to seek freedom. And to do that, he thought he could use our manipulation of Noelle to already go off script. You know, to try and get that. I gave you my commemorative ring for the price of my favorite year. Alright, here comes this heart attack. Okay, there we go. Spampton turns to the audience and laughs. 201. And this is how you repay me treating me like DLC. It's for you. Interesting. Because ZR works as a second A button, it doesn't... No, I get it! It's you and that hoochie mama you've been making, haven't you? Because ZRX is a second A button, it doesn't allow me to do the glitch, it would seem, or I guess the feature now. But it does allow me to charge and fire. Oh, you've been making hyperlink block, and now that you have your own supply, you don't need me. Okay. We need to heal. We will double dark burger. No, we'll start with the dark burger. I was too trusting, too honest. I've always been a man of the pippus, a real pippus person. Sure you have, buddy. So, yeah. Alright, pulls the strings and makes them ring. I'm actually gonna just do a normal attack in case his next attack hurts me a lot. I should have known you would use my ring for evil. Oh, right. That's why I sold it to you. Okay. Rough. Okay. We're gonna fried pippus. 2,166 liked this. You think making frozen chicken with your side chick is gonna let you drink up that sweet, sweet freedom sauce? Kinda, yeah. Spampton begs the audience to stop taking the furniture out of his room. Oh, we can X/. Well, you're right, but don't blame me when you're crying in a broken home, wishing you let your old pal Spampton kill you. Okay, whatever you say, buddy. Okay, smells like rotten glass. Clown? No, I feel sick. Alright. Yeah, it is a shame there is no way to do the exploit, quote-unquote, on Switch version of the game. Seems to be a PC-only feature, which does suck, but whatever. Little X/. Don't you want to be a big shot? Kinda. I don't think we saw this when we fought him on the normal route. This attack. Because I think I beat him too fast. But maybe that was, maybe we did, and I just did it quickly or something. Spenton feels the sweet breeze as he takes a ride around town. Thus, the smooth taste of Neo! What? It's for me! Alright. The air crackles with freedom. Don't you want to be a big shot? Kinda. Okay. Stage lights are shattered. My esteemed customer, I see you are attempting to deplete my HP. I'll admit you've got some guts, kid, but in a 1-for-1 battle, Neo never loses. It's time for a little blue light special. Expanding Neo's defense road greatly. Didn't you know Neo is famous for its high defense? Now, enjoy the fireworks, kid. Chris called for help, but nobody came. What? You're calling friends? You think you can beat me with your friends? Magic! Go ahead, kid. Call all you want. No one will ever pick up. Chris called for help, but nobody came. Go ahead and scream into the receiver. The voice runs out eventually. Your voice. Their voice. Until you realize you are all alone. Chris called for help, but nobody came. There will be no more miracles. No more magic. You lost it when you tried to see too far. You lost it. Chris called for help, but nobody came. You make me sick! Muttering your lost friends' names at the bottom of a dumpster. No one's gonna help you. Get that through your beautiful head, you little worm. You whispered Noelle's name. Her? You're still trying to use her? Ha 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 ha. You think she can hear you now muttering her name? What's she gonna do? Make me an ice cream. Hey, is it cold in here or is it just me? We're back. Huh? Birdley's alarm. A dream? It was really just a... Susie! Susie, what are you doing here? You invited us to study, remember? Oh, right, I did, didn't I? Haha. You're in a good mood. Did you, have a good dream? It was a nightmare. Oh. I'm just happy I woke up. The end was nice, though. What happened? Haha, well, haha, hey, Birdley, time to get up and go. Birdley? Gosh, you've been studying too much, Birdly. Honestly, you deserve a little rest, you know? Sweet dreams. What are you doing? You don't have a tail, do you, Susie? Huh? No way, of course not. Really? That's great. That was weird, Chris. Somehow it doesn't feel like we just saved the world. Chris, hey, wait a sec, Chris! We just actually saved the world, didn't we? Damn, we really are heroes. And no one even knows. Guess it's better that way, though, right? People would freak out if they knew the world's in danger. Though, kinda sucks Noelle has to forget, too. Whatever, let's get out of here. Checking our stats, we now have the armor of Wristwatch. Before he left, he gathered up everything in the room. Man, it got late. Blah, blah, blah. You don't have to say anything. We'll walk home together. Let's go. To the hospital. It's a toy with beads on a track. One of the blue beads is broken and torn off. Perhaps we've taken a slightly different path. Maybe not marching along the same one we should have been. Silver Drake, huh? That's a new one. Alright, what's the plan, honey? Maybe we could try Ice Shock? Ice on the Ice Palace, boss. Don't you want to try Fire Shock or something? Huh? Yeah, you're right. Here, how about letting me control for a bit? No, I'll control it myself. Not like you to be a controller hog, honey. You feeling alright? Huh? Me? Of course. I'm fine, Dad. I fell asleep in the library and, just had a weird dream. Haha. Noelle, I knew that bird brain had put you to sleep. Haha. What'd he do? Start lecturing you on his theorem of the inequality in children's fighter games? Haha. No, he fell asleep too. Wow, he even put himself to sleep? Haha. Yeah, I guess so. Well, sounds like you two have been hitting the books too hard. Why don't you go home and hibernate? I'll see you tomorrow at church. Dad, are you going to be okay to go? Of course. You take it easy, honey. Okay, then. Yeah, I'll go home and rest. See you tomorrow, honey. Bye, Dad. Love you. Chris? Chris, what are you doing here? Hell if I know. Susie? Oh, this is Susie. Susie, nice. Heard a lot about you. You, have? Cool. Think I have to go now. Susie, huh? Yeah? Lay a finger on her and I'll kick your ass. Huh? Ha ha ha, just kidding. Well, kinda kidding. Hey, Chris, why are you checking the sink? That's what I'm asking, sweetheart. Practicing for tonight's hand-washing marathon, Chris? Huh, that's one way to put it. Hey, Susie, mind if I have a word with you a sec? Guess I'll be a sec, Chris. I wonder what prompts Rudy to call Susie aside. My guess is maybe it has to do with him not using as much energy talking to Noelle? Anyway. Come on, it was just a bad dream. Even so, it was so real, I can't get it out of my mind. That voice telling me what to do. A voice unlike Chris's. A terrifying voice. Chris, recently, there's been something different about them. Why hasn't anyone else noticed it? I have to figure it out. Why Chris is acting so strange. Why they keep coming to the hospital. To see you. Huh? Chris, how long have you been standing there? Phew, you really scared me, you know? Keep it together, Noelle. There's nothing to be afraid of. After all, a dream is just a dream, right? Chris? Why are you wearing my watch? When did you... Hey, Chris, let's beat it already. Man, he kept telling me about Noelle, like her favorite things, places she'd like to go. No idea what the hell that was about. So, the hell were you two doing? Nothing, Susie. I was just about to go home. See you. Guess she's afraid of me again, huh? Man, would have been nice if she knew everything that happened was real, huh, Chris? Come on, try to be a little more enthusiastic, huh? Guess so. Maybe it would be nice. So, that's it for the unique weird route dialogue and interactions. So, obviously we have to go to school, but... I guess, Oh, actually, there is one more thing, though it's not unique to the weird route. It's just... this. So this is your castle town. It's... Wait. Where's Newbert? Newbert, Newbie, where are you? He said he wouldn't come unless everybody else did. Newbert, a hero until the end. Chris, you truest your best, I know. Oh well, it seems like a wonderful town. If you recruit no one, she'll be like, where is... the population density is wonderfully low, but where is everyone else? You know, task manager and whatnot. But since I recruited some people, you know, whatnot. But there is unique dialogue also down here that I want to quickly show off. Talk to you? Heh. You left them behind, didn't you? Just as you left us. Be gone. So, as King said, we left some people behind. And perhaps then King is right. You know, the Lightners did abandon them, just as we abandoned the people of the computer lab. Still feel the power in your hands. Long day, you have returned to Castletown. Interesting. Well, obviously, I have to complete the rest of the chapter and reach the end, but that's it for the Weird Route dialogue. And as such, I'll say that we'll pick up with Chapter 3 next time. But for now, my name has been, and will be tomorrow, and the day after that, 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 and it always will be Pun Food. I don't know what else I can say. Obviously, for you guys, Chapter 3 releases in less than 24 hours. For me, it releases still in like a week. So, I don't know what else there is to really say. The Weird Route is weird and definitely makes me a little uncomfortable. Not so much when I replay it. I've kind of been numbed to it, but even so, you know, it is still uncomfortable.